Welcome to Unique as Nature. Imagine a woman in her 30s living in the bustling city of New York. She's a beacon of success, with a high-powered job that makes her the envy of her peers, her life seemingly a perfect portrayal of the modern urban dream. But beneath the surface there's a void, a yearning that material success cannot fill. She feels an emptiness that echoes in the quiet moments, a longing for a deeper understanding, a connection to something more profound than the tangible world around her. One day, as if by chance, she stumbles upon the teachings of Bernardo Kastrup, a beacon of wisdom in the realm of metaphysical idealism. His words resonate with her, his ideas challenging the foundations of her understanding, igniting within her a spark of curiosity. She becomes intrigued by his interpretation of reality, his exploration of consciousness, and the profound implications it has on our understanding of the universe. This woman, let's call her Jane, finds herself drawn to the philosophy of spiritualism. She begins to perceive the world not as a mere collection of physical objects, but as a symphony of experiences, each one a manifestation of a deeper, universal consciousness. She starts to question the reality she always took for granted, the reality of her high-rise apartment, her 9-to-5 job, her designer clothes. She begins to wonder if there is more to life than this. She delves into Kastrup's teachings, each concept more intriguing than the last. She explores the principles of spiritualism, the power of the mind, the existence of the 7 chakras, and the potential for enlightenment. This exploration marks the beginning of Jane's journey. A journey that promises to be as enlightening as it is challenging. As she delves into the teachings, she begins to question the reality she had always known. She feels a pull, an irresistible urge to understand her place in the universe, to unravel the mysteries of consciousness and existence. This is the start of her journey, her quest for enlightenment. The woman, intrigued by her newfound knowledge, found herself stepping onto a yoga mat for the first time. She was not seeking the physical benefits often associated with yoga, but rather the spiritual connection that this ancient practice promised. She began to understand that yoga was more than just a series of postures. It was a journey of self-discovery and transformation. As she moved through the asanas, she began to feel a sense of balance, a harmony between her body and mind. She learned about the 7 chakras, the energy centers of the body, each associated with a different aspect of her being. Starting from the root chakra, representing her foundation and feeling of being grounded, she moved upward to the sacral chakra, the center of creativity and pleasure, followed by the solar plexus chakra, her source of personal power and ability to channel. She continued her journey upwards through the heart chakra, the center of love and compassion, to the throat chakra, the hub of communication and expression. Higher still, she reached the 3rd eye chakra, the seat of intuition, and finally the crown chakra, the pinnacle of spiritual connection. With each yoga session, she felt her energy centers becoming more balanced, her body and mind more in sync. The practice was not without struggle, but she found beauty in the challenge, wisdom in the discomfort. She learned to listen to her body, to respect its limits, and celebrate its capabilities. She found that yoga was not about touching her toes, but what she learned on the way down. Her understanding of yoga deepened, becoming a mirror for her life off the mat. She began to see her life as a series of asanas, each with its own challenges and rewards. Just as she breathed through the discomfort in her practice, she learned to navigate the ups and downs of her life with grace and resilience. Off the yoga mat, she carried the tranquility and balance she found, a step closer towards her spiritual awakening. Her journey was far from over, but she was on the path, moving forward, one breath at a time. So, as she journeyed deeper, she encountered the philosophy of idealism. An age-old philosophy, yet new to her understanding, it began to reshape her perception of the world. She found herself immersed in the teachings of Rupert Spira, a contemporary philosopher who articulates the message of non-duality and idealism with a clarity and simplicity that resonated with her. Spira's words echoed in her mind. Consciousness is the fundamental reality. She pondered over this. It was a notion that contradicted the materialistic worldview she'd held onto for so long. The idea that the physical world was not the absolute reality, but rather a manifestation of consciousness, was both challenging and liberating. Her journey took her deeper into the realms of idealism, where she discovered that she was not a separate entity experiencing the world, but rather the world was her experience. In this sense, she wasn't in the world was in her. This shift in perspective was profound and transformative. She delved into the implications of this new understanding. If consciousness was the ultimate reality, then everything she experienced was a reflection of her state of consciousness. Her joy, her sorrow, her dreams and her fears were all manifestations of her consciousness. She came across the words of Bernardo Kastrup, another advocate for idealism, who said, "We do not know the world. We know our thoughts, feelings and perceptions of the world." She realized that her perception was not an absolute reality, but a personal interpretation shaped by her consciousness. This exploration of idealism opened her eyes to the power of her mind. She understood that by altering her state of consciousness, she could change her experience of the world. It was a revelation that empowered her, making her the architect of her reality. Her understanding of the world transformed. She saw reality as a manifestation of consciousness. This was not the end of her journey, but a significant milestone in her quest for enlightenment. Her exploration of idealism had provided a new lens through which to view the world, and she was eager to see where this new perspective would lead her. In her newfound clarity, she began noticing synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that guided her path. It was as though the universe was speaking to her in a language only she could understand. These synchronicities were not mere chance happenings, but deeply meaningful occurrences that seemed to align with her thoughts, feelings and actions. She observed how a book she randomly picked up echoed her innermost thoughts, or how a stranger she met at a coffee shop spoke words she needed to hear at the precise moment she needed to hear them. These were not just coincidences. They were synchronicities, a term coined by psychologist Carl Jung, which he defined as meaningful coincidences. The more she noticed these synchronicities, the more she realized the interconnectedness of everything. It was as if the universe was one grand symphony, and she was a note contributing to its melody. Everything was connected in a profound and magical way that defied logical understanding. She recalled a quote from Bernardo Kastrup: "The world is not just a chain of events, it's a web of happenstances." These words resonated with her deeply as she began to see the world not as a series of isolated incidents, but as a tapestry of interconnected events. Synchronicities showed her that there was a deeper order to the universe, an underlying harmony that guided her journey. They were like signposts, signaling that she was on the right path towards enlightenment. She also remembered the teachings of Rupert Spira, who said, "The universe is not happening to us. We are happening to the universe." She realized that her thoughts, feelings and actions were not separate from the universe. They were part of it, influencing and being influenced by it. She began to trust the journey, knowing that every step was leading her towards her destiny. She understood that these synchronicities were not just random events, but the universe's way of communicating with her, guiding her, nudging her towards her purpose. They were reminders of the magic and mystery of existence, of the profound interconnectedness of all things. And with this understanding, she moved forward on her path towards enlightenment, embracing the synchronicities that guided her journey. And as she continued her journey, it was not a grand event, but a simple realization that marked her enlightenment. A realization that echoed the words of Bernardo Kastrup: "The world is not happening to you, you are happening to the world." She understood, in a moment of profound clarity, that she was not a separate entity, but a part of the grand tapestry of existence. This moment didn't come after a vigorous yoga session, nor during a deep philosophical exploration of idealism. It arrived unexpectedly while she was sipping her morning coffee, watching the sun paint the sky with hues of gold and crimson. She felt a deep sense of peace, as if she had finally come home. This was not a home in the physical sense, but a spiritual home, a home that was not confined by walls, but was as expansive as the universe itself. She realized she was not just living in the universe, but she was the universe, experiencing itself through her. This was a realization of oneness, a realization that she was intrinsically connected to everything and everyone. In this moment she remembered the words of Rupert Spira. The greatest discovery in life is to find out that our essential nature does not share the limits nor the destiny of the body and mind. She understood that her true nature was not her physical body or her thoughts, but the consciousness that observed them. She saw her life with newfound clarity, understanding that every experience, every person she met, every challenge she faced was not a random event, but a part of the synchronicity of her life's journey. She was not a victim of her circumstances, but a co-creator of her reality. Her journey had led her through the exploration of yoga, the study of idealism, the discovery of synchronicity, and the understanding of the 7 chakras. But it was in the quiet moments of introspection, in the psychology of her own mind, where she found her enlightenment. She had found what she was seeking, not in the external world, but within herself. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more.